So, you want to reach Legend Tournament, but you don't have Chrono Field yet. Don't worry, this setup gets you there without it. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're breaking down a small guide for new Legend Tournament players by Evan the Rat, a strategy that focuses on inner landmines instead of Chrono Field for crowd control. The best part? It's way cheaper. You don't have to pour endless stones or weeks of lab time into it. ILM gives you reliable CC early on, while Chrono Field only really shines much later, once you've heavily invested in it. So, especially free-to-play towers might benefit from this version a lot. Think of it as an alternative route, one that helps you stay in Legend and even earn a few keys, even if your econ or late-game setup isn't ready yet. I followed Evan's guide myself, though I already had Chrono Field at the time, but the community feedback on his version has been very positive, so huge thanks to Evan for the original work. Now, let's dive in and see just how far you can go without Chrono Field.
Alright, let's start with the workshop, the foundation of every strong Legend setup. The goal here is simple. You want to be able to max your key stats using cash during your run. Starting from Devo makes it a bit harder, but it's still doable. The stronger your tower gets, the less it matters. For the damage workshop, aim for 5,700 damage. Keep your crit factor, super crit chance, and super crit factor high enough that you can max them easily with cash. But don't overspend coins there. And ignore both rend stats completely. You can even leave them locked so you can max other stats faster. In the defense workshop, around 5,700 health, 5,700 to 5,800 regen, and about 900 wall health is fine. Personally, I have them at around 5,000, and it does not make a difference in my tournament runs. That'll help you tank early waves while you buy stats, but later it won't make a huge difference. Landmine stats are nice, but the damage isn't what matters, it's the control they give you. Wall rebuild is useful though. Level it up when it's still cheap. Think of your wall like an extra energy shield that also deals a bit of thorn damage back to bosses. For the utility workshop, skip EHLS for now. Since the ELS reduction condition was added, it's barely worth it unless your ELS plus is already above 54% plus. Instead, focus on recovery amount and max recovery. That makes your workshop upgrades faster and leaves you with more free ups for other stats. And that's basically it. Next up, let's talk about cards. This is where a lot of your power comes from. For Legend tournaments, you'll want at least 14 card slots, eventually more, like 15 to 18, so you can swap less during your run. At the start, when you still rely on effective health to survive and buy your stats, you'll need to micromanage your cards a bit. But once your tower gets stronger, you can start directly with a glass cannon setup and keep it all the way through. Here's the core card lineup for a Legend GC build. Damage, attack speed, range, cash, slow aura, critical chance, free upgrades, plasma cannon, energy net, second wind, demon mode, energy shield, berserk, and ultimate crit. If you have extra slots, you can also bring extra orbs, landmine stun, wave skip, nuke, and even death ray. Death ray is the lowest priority out of those, but still worth adding if you've got space for it. When you're just starting out and need more survivability, you can temporarily swap range, slow aura, or crit chance for health, regen, or extra defense. Once you've maxed your stats with cash and your tower feels stable, switch back to your damage-focused setup. Now, toward the end of your run, when you can tell things are starting to fall apart, there are a few tricks you can use to extend your run and grab a few more waves before you go down. First, demon mode and nuke. If a boss is closing in and you know you can't kill it in time, use nuke to instantly destroy it and preserve one or more of your energy shield charges. Lower your game speed when you do it. Timing matters here. Killing that one boss can buy you enough time to wave skip or death defy your way through a few extra waves. After your second wind triggers, wait until its duration is nearly over. Then, activate Demon Mode. That burst of damage can carry you another 12 to 15 waves if you time it right. If you're confident that only bosses are the problem, you can save Demon Mode for the next boss wave. But it's risky. One fast chip could still end your run before that boss even spawns. Next, extra orbs and landmine stun. If you're running with the minimum card slots, swap out your cash and free upgrades cards for these two near the end. Depending on the battle conditions, position your extra orbs differently. If bosses are the main threat, keep them close to your tower for focused damage. But if fast enemies are the issue, place them a bit farther out to thin the wave before it reaches you. Just remember, you can only adjust orb placement when no boss is on screen. Finally, wave skip management.
If you need to rebuild your wall, recharge your energy shield, or reset your inner landmines, pause the game and temporarily remove the wave skip card. That'll give you more time between boss waves to recover. Then, whenever you reach a wave ending in a 4 or a 9, slot the card back in to see if you can skip the next boss. After that wave, whether it's skipped or not, take the card out again. It's a bit of micromanagement, but it's worth it. And that's your full card strategy, from the early game setup to the late run clutch plays. If you keep your lineup flexible and master these small optimizations, you'll notice a huge difference in how long you can stay alive in Legend.
Let's move on to the labs, one of the most important parts of your Legend setup. This is where most of your long-term power comes from, and also where you'll need to make some sacrifices if you want to perform well in tournaments. When preparing for Legend, it's normal to slow down or even pause your econ labs for a bit. It might feel like you're falling behind, but the boost to your combat performance will be worth it. Here's what you should focus on first. Damage around level 30 to start, but eventually aim for 50 or higher. Crit factor. Same thing, around 30 for now, 50 plus later. Super crit chance and super crit multiplier between 5 and 10 are good starting points. Attack speed should be pushed as high as possible. 70 or more is ideal. This one is a massive bottleneck for a lot of players. Range at 40 works great for most setups, and we'll talk about why that's so important later on. Make sure your orb's boss hit is maxed, orb speed around 10 or higher, and wall rebuild at least level 10. Shockwave size should also be at least level 10. Cash bonus between 25 and 40 is a good range, just don't overdo it. Then come a few must-have maxed labs. EHLS maxed. Energy shield extra hits maxed. This one is extremely important. Shock chance around 15. Shock multiplier maxed. Inner landmine rotation speed maxed. And inner landmine radius at 15 or more. These labs all work together to keep your tower alive longer and deal more damage without needing huge stone investments. It's a mix of raw damage, attack speed, and efficient CC. And if you're wondering which one makes the biggest difference, it's attack speed. Every point of attack speed improves your damage, your chain lightning uptime, and even your overall control during fast battle conditions. This single stat can easily be the difference between wave 500 and wave 800. So, to sum it up, damage, crit, and attack speed first. Range, shield, and landmine labs second. Then everything else for fine-tuning. Get these right, and your tower will start feeling a lot more stable, even under the toughest conditions. Let's move on to modules, or mods. These are one of the biggest factors in your Legend performance. You don't need perfect mythic rolls on every slot, but getting the right substats makes a huge difference. Even some legendary substats will work fine, so don't stress too much about re-rolling endlessly. Here's what to focus on. Astral Deliverance, or AD, is your main pick. Go for substats in this order of priority. Crit factor, bounce shot chance, attack speed, super crit chance, and super crit multiplier. If you find plain crit chance while rolling, that's okay too. It's weaker but still usable, and reroll shards are too valuable to waste. If you don't have a good Astral Deliverance yet, you can use Death Penalty or Amplifying Strike as alternatives. Between those two, Amplifying Strike performs better, but both work until you get a strong AD. And just like before, use the same substat priorities on them. Next up, Anti-Cube Portal, or ACP. Rarity isn't super important here. Even a legendary ACP can give you a solid and noticeable damage boost. For substats, aim for Shockwave Frequency, Knockback Force, Shockwave Size, Death Defy, and Wall Rebuild. Then there's Space Displacer, or SD. Go for Landmine Chance, Knockback Force, Death Defy, and Wall Rebuild. If you happen to roll Orbs, Orb Speed, or Landmine Radius, that's fine too, but the ones I just listed take priority. Next, Project Funding, or PF. This mod is completely overpowered, so even an epic version is worth using. Unless you have something like an Ancestral Pulsar Harvester with godly substats, always run PF. For substats, you want Cash Bonus, EHLS, but only if your ELS Plus is strong enough to reach 54% or higher, and free utility upgrade. Other upgrade subs don't matter much. Finally, Dimensional Core, or DC. This one is very strong for utility and extra procs. Target substats in this order: Chain Lightning Chance, Chain Lightning Quantity, Spotlight Angle,
spotlight bonus, and inner landmine quantity or chain lightning damage. These are the core modules you want to run for a consistent legend setup. You'll usually end up with AD, PF, DC, and either ACP or SD, depending on your battle conditions. We'll cover how to choose between those two a bit later in the strategy section.
Let's talk about the ultimate weapons, your strongest tools during the Legend tournament. And just to be clear, all of these numbers already include the tournament-dedicated mods and their substats. Starting with Chain Lightning, you want around 400 to 600 times damage, 6 to 9 quantity, and roughly 20 to 35% chance. Don't overspend stones on the damage stat. Chain Lightning scales through so many other sources: enhancements, labs, masteries, damage amplifiers, and attack speed. So your stones are better spent elsewhere. Next is Spotlight. Aim for a 15 to 25 times bonus, an angle between 45 and 55 degrees, and 3 quantity. You can go higher later, but that's a good starting range. And finally, Inner Landmine, or ILM. Here, you can completely ignore the damage stat. What matters is 6 to 9 quantity and a cooldown of exactly 2 minutes and 30 seconds, or 150 seconds. That's the perfect timing for 5 waves, exactly the gap between boss waves in Legend tournaments, if you're not using Wave Accelerator or Wave Skip. This setup guarantees that your inner landmines are always rebuilt in time for the next boss wave, even if the previous one used them all. And that's what makes ILM so valuable. It's perfectly synchronized with the rhythm of the game. You always have it ready when you need it most. It's best to finish your inner landmine setup before touching the card masteries. Once that's in place, the first 2 masteries you should unlock are Damage Mastery and Demon Mode Mastery. Damage Mastery gives a 1.4 times damage multiplier, and Demon Mode Mastery adds another 1.5 times. Combined, that's a 2.1 times total damage increase right at unlock, and it scales even higher once you start adding lab levels. These 2 masteries alone make a huge difference in the early waves of Legend. After unlocking them, don't waste resources chasing other damage masteries for now. Focus on leveling these 2. They're the most impactful ones early on. For Demon Mode Mastery, use it purely for the damage boost toward the end of your run. You don't need to time it to save yourself anymore. The goal is simply to push damage output. Activate it whenever you're confident your run will end within the next 300 waves. That way, you'll get the full damage bonus while it actually matters most. Damage and attack speed are king. You can go decently far in Legend with heavy damage and attack speed investment, and with Chain Lightning and Inner Landmine before needing to invest in other damage UWs or Chrono Field. There are many players who have reached wave 800, 900, or even 1000 without Chrono Field or Stone Packs, simply by relying on higher raw stats, Chain Lightning, and Inner Landmine. The general idea of this early and cheap strategy is to focus heavily on damage while using attack speed and ILM as a cheap and affordable source of crowd control. Running 160 meters range with max card and a level 40 range lab gives you more time before bosses and enemies reach your tower. This also allows Energy Net to stop some non-fast bosses right at your orb line, adding some extra orb damage. Additionally, at this range, tank ultimates will stop just outside the Space Displacer's second ILM ring, so they aren't wasted, and right inside the orb line, adding more damage, since tank ultimates take orb damage like bosses do. The Astral Deliverance passive effect allows you to use big range without the drawback of reduced bounce effectiveness, because higher range increases the spacing between enemies. Without AD, bounce range becomes too limited. Bounces are very important for overall chip control. The knockback force substat on the armor mod helps here by pushing enemies farther, which in turn helps bullets manage enemies that are coming into range, and also helps boost Chain Lightning damage overall by adding additional extra Chain Lightning procs. Inner Landmine will serve as the most affordable crowd control source for bosses and fast ultimate battle conditions when using Space Displacer. A boss, depending on whether it's fast boosted or not, can usually be stunned by 2 or 3 Inner Landmines back to back, potentially even stunned by the entire ILM ring if you manage to get the ILM quantity substat on your dimensional core. This is valuable stun time to let Spotlight reach the stunned boss before it hits your tower. Not to mention, ILM can generally prevent mini chips. And by chips, we mean fast, ranged, or enemies boosted by fast ultimate. With enough blast radius lab investment, a single mine can stun an entire crowd of enemies near your tower.
Thanks to Space Displacer, you also have a constant source of wide-range stuns. It only costs 625 stones after unlocking, for the recommended ILM stats mentioned in the Ultimate Weapons section, and just 2 to 3 weeks of lab investment to bring your ILM online and get it ready to shine in Legend. Chain Lightning will be your main damage source. It synergizes very well with Astral Deliverance and the higher range, since its damage is instant and hits targets regardless of their distance. Before starting the tournament, go to your labs and bring your range lab slider to 40 and the Shockwave size lab slider to 20, or the highest you have researched for these. Go to your mod page and equip Astral Deliverance, or Amplifying Strike or Death Penalty if you don't have AD, or if it's weak. Project Funding, Dimensional Core, and either Anti-Cube Portal or Space Displacer, depending on which one fits better for the current battle conditions. Then put on your tournament card preset. Set your target priority to closest at the very top. Anything below doesn't matter. Why target priority to closest? For now, with these cheap and limited crowd control options, based on testing and experience, the closest target priority at the very top has worked the best in every battle condition. Boss over closest, fast over closest, and ranged over closest almost always result in more chips taken, since it harms your crowd control by not focusing on the closest enemy.
Good practice during the tournament before opening menus. Always bring game speed down to 0 when it says paused on the screen before opening any menu. Whenever you need to do card swaps, check mods, or check labs, always pause. The performance of the game at max speed isn't the best, and any lag or delay while opening a menu can allow fast enemies to instantly reach your tower and hit you. Why is the Energy Shield card extremely important? Because of the interaction between Death Defy, Energy Shield, Second Wind, and having low health. Potentially dying from a single enemy hit is crucial, as only this will trigger Death Defy. Death Defy activates before Energy Shield and Second Wind. If triggered, you survive, deal Thorn damage back, and retain your Energy Shield charge and Second Wind. This applies to each Energy Shield charge. Increasing the Death Defy chance improves the odds for this to happen. Keeping the Energy Shield allows another Death Defy to happen the next time you get hit. Not having low enough health means wasting energy shields before Death Defy can save the charges. Thankfully, this likely won't happen in Legend, since enemy damage scaling is absurdly high. But keep this in mind when doing Death Defy event missions. Removing your armor mod and EHP cards, and going into the highest tier you have, will make the amount of Death Defies skyrocket. Why is attack speed important for this setup? Level 70 attack speed lab is a good starting point, but you really want this as close to the max level as possible for Legend. Aim for at least 40 attack speed raw stat by combining as much attack speed from labs, cards, enhancements, and cannon substats as possible. But don't stop there. Keep pushing toward 50 and beyond. It's a long journey, but every bit matters. Chain Lightning is our main source of killing, and it scales directly with attack speed. Since you'll have so many CL procs happening constantly, you'll also have a much higher chance to trigger ultimate weapon crits with the card, and those hit bosses extremely hard. Even below 40 attack speed, players have done well in Legend, but every increase makes a noticeable difference in how well you can handle fast enemies or fast ultimate conditions. About modules and some extra tips. Hopefully you didn't neglect your mod labs and have pulled enough mods. Higher mod levels are very important. They have exponential main stat scaling. The higher level they are, the better they become. Whenever possible, consider getting the Recovery Package Chance card mastery. It should be your very first one. If you get it and want to boost your mod levels, you can respec your workshop for the first lab of that mastery once you have enough LTC. Around 3 quadrillion is a good point. This helps you reach level 141 mods faster, which gives you higher cannon and core damage scaling, plus extra substat slots. Masteries may feel far away depending on your progress, but it's something to keep in mind for the future.
When to use Anti-Cube Portal and when to use Space Displacer. Generally, if the main threat of the battle conditions are non-fast boosted bosses, so no fast ultimate and no knockback resistance, then use ACP, as long as you can manage chips with attack speed, bounces, and knockbacks. If the only condition is movement speed, ACP can still work fine, provided your attack speed is high enough. But if the main threats are chips, knockback resistance, or fast ultimate battle conditions, then you absolutely want to use Space Displacer.
It's a constant source of screen-wide stuns that stop the chips and help you regain control of the wave. Expect to get fewer waves in these runs. That's normal. In the end, you'll use Space Displacer most of the time. ACP is only for lucky battle conditions where there's no fast ultimate or knockback resistance. What cannon mods to use? Generally, use whichever high-rarity cannon you have if it has good substats rolled. For this strategy, Astral Deliverance is highly recommended, but if you have a strong Amplifying Strike and the battle condition includes basic ultimates, then Amplifying Strike can be better because of the extra damage procs from bosses. What about Chrono Field? Chrono Field takes a lot of time, commitment, and stones to be good in tournaments. For now, we'll rely on Attack Speed and Astral Deliverance for damage, and Inner Landmine plus Space Displacer as our budget crowd control tools. Developing those is far cheaper and faster than going all in on Chrono Field early. Chrono Field will be needed later, after you reach 50 or more attack speed and unlock the damage and demon mode masteries. But before that, it's not worth the investment. On Devoing and respeccing. It's true you can handle Legend even starting from Devo. However, upgrading stats out of Devo to a Blender setup before the tournament will give you more waves and make the early part of your run safer. It's up to you if you want to spend 150 gems and a bit of time respeccing after each tournament for those extra waves. Maybe only do it if you're close to your first keys. To undevo for a tournament, simply upgrade your key stats in the workshop before the run using coins. There's no need to respec twice per tournament. Game speed. As of version 27, this isn't as important as it used to be, but it still matters. Game speed heavily affects performance. Start at 5 times speed until you notice fast enemies hitting your wall out of nowhere. Whenever you see your wall disappear suddenly, or an energy shield charge vanish without a boss reaching you, lower the speed. Only do this after you've maxed your workshop stats and are close to losing. Not early on, while you're still cash buying upgrades. At the end of your run, shortly before losing, you should be at 2 times speed. The game engine can't handle fast enemies and bullet generation at high speed when the battle condition heats up with fast ultimates. If you want to squeeze out as many waves as possible, you'll have to lower it, even if it's annoying. Don't worry though, as your tower grows stronger and your attack speed and damage rise, you'll be able to stay at 5 times speed longer before needing to slow things down.
And that's the full breakdown of Evan's small guide for new Legend tournament players. It's a simple, budget-friendly setup that proves you don't need Chrono Field or massive stone investment to stay in Legend. Just solid fundamentals, smart upgrades, and consistent play. I followed this approach myself. Now, I already had a developed Chrono Field before trying it, but Inner Landmines still got me further in my Legend runs and helped me push through some key milestones I was stuck on. I'm currently using Death Penalty as my cannon mod. It's 3 stars. And in my tests, it actually outperformed both Astral Deliverance and Amplifying Strike. So far, I'm really happy with that setup. Big thanks again to Evan for the original work, and to everyone in the community who shared feedback and helped refine the strategy. You can find the full written guide linked below, along with the Discord if you want to join the discussion or share your own results. If this video helped you out, hit like, drop a comment, or subscribe for more tower content and tournament breakdowns. Thanks for watching, and good luck in your next Legend run.